Here we go. We'll leave one left.
Hello there, Happy New Year. This is the first video recorded in 2026, and that means we've got brand new Lego. I'm so excited actually about the brand new Lego. I don't know what it is for 2026. I think 2025 was just a really good year for not just Star Wars, but across the board. Some really good sets. We ended up building the Wicked Art set, and I'm excited to see what 2026 has to offer, especially when it comes to the smart brick. But that's all that's going to be said in this video. We're going to be looking at that when it comes out. Of course, brand new sets means we had to go to the Lego store, but I've seen a few people try that. January 1st, some Lego stores had opened, though most of them were shut, and a lot of the other toy retailers opened January 2nd, and for both the first days, it was packed. Shout out to all of you that queued hours before work and after work, by the way, just to pick up the Stranger Things set to watch alongside the finale. It's a few days after that's come out, and I still haven't watched it, but I'll get round to it. Anyway, I want to start off a few days ago, just before New Year. I ended up going to see if there were any big sets on sale, especially the Lego Star Wars MTT. This set I finally saw in person. There was an Asda's near me that had this out on display, and it just made me want it even more. I think this is going to be the big set I look at getting in May time, especially when that gift with purchase is on shelves. Don't know what it is yet, but there is rumors of it being a Darksaber, which could be really cool, but I think it's probably going to be exclusive to the N1. They always link towards the UCS set. I just hope it isn't locked behind that, because it might get me into the lightsabers. Maybe we have to build the other ones that Lego have come out with previously. Let's get to the new stuff. I don't really remember seeing any sales. There definitely was a few of the newer sets when we were in Asda's, couple days before New Year. Again, some of them do sneak early, and sometimes they have to hold them back at the till. I know it's similar with the Walmarts over in America that share a parent company, so coincidence? I think not. But we did head over to Smith's today. They had all the new sets in stock, which is another reason that I recommend you maybe leave it a day or two. You miss the big rush. All the sets are in stock and aren't still on the trolleys, because I don't know about you, but near me, they don't stock any of them overnight. I used to work nights. I can understand why stores don't want to employ night workers. It is a mindless job. But that meant we got to see all the new Star Wars sets. I thought the smaller ones were selling out until I realized there were 4 tiers of sets on shelves. Crazy. 4 levels of these sets, and they were well and truly stocked. I thought I was picking up 2 of the new battle pack, which I'll get to. We'll get to that. I haven't unboxed them yet. I'll probably do a few videos looking at like the minifigures, and there's a lot I want to get into in the new battle pack. And yes, I did pick up a few of them, but more on that tomorrow. They had plenty of stock. Even on the shelves, it might have looked a little empty, but they were stocking and stocking, coming out like the Lego store in London. You might see on release day, they come out with these massive Lego bags stocking it. Smiths have trolleys, and not the shopping cart trolleys. No, they have like double layer B&Q home base style trolleys, or like Home Depot. I think that's the American one. They had boxes stacked on boxes, and they were just pulling away an empty trolley actually when we had arrived. So this was after they'd already restocked. I don't even know, maybe the Marvel sets, they were pretty well stocked. At least for me, the reason why I like going in store and seeing a ton of these sets on the shelves, as opposed to scrolling lego.com and having a look on Amazon, where you see the front of the box, you see the back of the box. It gives you a great size comparison. I mentioned the Creator 3-in-1 Cat and the Marie set, which are £20 and £35 in price. Similar piece counts, and they're actually pretty close to I think the Creator box is slightly smaller, but they're pretty much the same size as well. Just need a few color swaps and a little tweaking, and you've got yourself a very cheap Marie, for any Disney fans that do want to do so. But it also lets you look at sales. I went last year. This year isn't much different to the sales you were seeing over Christmas. It's nice to see a lot of the £60 to £40 sets, and sales have stuck around, and some of the bigger sets are still pretty well priced. So that does show going into 2026. I'm probably not going to be picking up any of the expensive sets. I think 2025, the most expensive set we picked up day one, excluding the UCS Slave one, which was just a dream set. Thank you so much for the support on this channel. I couldn't have done this without you. Literally, I would have spent that on so many smaller Lego sets if we didn't hit that milestone. That was crazy. For 10k subscribers, if you don't know and are new here, we picked up the UCS Slave one, which is sat back there and still needs a little fixing. I'll get onto that later today, which is when I go live. So if you're watching this after I upload it, go check that out. I've completely forgot what I was saying. Oh yes, the bigger sets on sale. The Falcon was there, we saw the sail barge, but they'd sold out of, I think, like the Lord of the Rings might have been Barad-dûr and the X-Men Mansion. I think they were the two sets that had already been bought, and they only ever have one at any location, which was crazy to see. I don't remember ever seeing a gap in that slot. All right, editor's note here. I think they have more than one in each location, but they only have a handful, so they must have been selling really well. Speaking of how well the Marvel section was stocked, I did take a look at this £9 4+ set they had with the Spidey bike. I really like the Rhino figure. There's something just childish about it, and I thought they used two of the net pieces, which come in the mech, but it looks like a completely different one, which does still connect together and can be hooked onto a vehicle, which is interesting that that's a different element, but I don't have any of the other ones anyway. I'm considering watching that young Spidey show because I really like the Young Jedi Adventures just to have on in the background. It's lighthearted to watch. There's a few characters like Jeff the Landshark that do pop up, and the Lego sets are getting me interested in the shows, which usually it's the other way around. You watch a show, you like it, like Star Trek, like Stranger Things, and then you want to build the Lego set. This time, it's weird because it's aimed at young kids, but the Lego sets have made me interested in it. I don't know how it works. Almost picked up that Spider-Man diorama that I really want. But again, it's a £20 set. It's definitely worth £20. So I might go back and pick this up full price anyway from Lego. Maybe I add this to my May 4th Star Wars order, which I'm probably going to make if I want to pick up an MTT or two. Maybe if I get that earlier, I could pick up a few of the smaller sets. Either way, if I'm making that threshold for free delivery, I might add this to the basket. I think it's worth £20. I would be happy if this was £15 up the road to pay that £20 from Lego and get that 5% back, which doesn't quite add up to 25%, even with like quadruple points. But for me, I am happy spending £20 on it. I resisted. I've already spent enough on Lego. I've got so many Lego orders that are on the way from Christmas. Stay tuned. January is going to be a lot of Lego orders, but that will mean we can get to building in February, March, and hopefully basically the rest of the year, because I'm not sure my bank can afford another January. Oh, next to it, they had the Ghost Spider bike as well. Not Ghost Spider, the Ghost Rider, that's his name. Ghost Rider's bike. Almost forgot it. Has some really cool minifigure accessories, not just the Ghost Rider figure, that has the removable flame piece hair that pops off. Probably gonna steal it for one of my Green Goblin Jack-o'-lanterns. Maybe I should order a few of these through Lego's Pick-a-Brick. Add those to the May order as well. Why not? It's already expensive enough. But I want to build this set for Ghost Rider. Nice little one to add on display. Bigger than minifigure scale, sure, but it's still quite a close scale to the bikes that you see in the Marvel shows. I do want to build this bike for Shadow as well. I like the design of it a bit more than the one that came in the Shadow set that was double the price, and I want to get my hands on those hand accessories and recolors. I think they should do some blue ones for Iron Man. They might be able to get away with using these as the Force elements, because then they could like attach rocks and stuff to it. Maybe have sabers thrown across the room. Don't know how they'd use these more so than the other projectiles, and I don't even know if these ones fire. So if you've picked up the set, please let me know just how good they are. And I'm hoping to pick this up in a 2 for 15, similar to the Battle Pack, which even though I picked up in today's haul, I am still waiting for that to go on 2 for 20, and I'll pick up so many more just to build my Shadow Collective Mando army. And they also, whilst we're speaking of Marvel, had one Galactus set left, but it was £10 more expensive than it is on Amazon. I'm going to pick this up one day. I was torn between picking it up and building my own, and I worry that by building my own, I'm just going to keep putting it off, never get around to building it. So just next time Fantastic Four show up in the MCU, leave a comment, remind me that I was going to build Galactus, and maybe we'll revisit this, creating our own Fantastic Four minifigures that honestly I don't think I can do much better than Legos. I'd already noticed through looking online on Smith's, which I do before I go in store, just in case there are some really good deals on big sets. I make sure to bring a Mahusive bag so that we can fill it. I've got a cool one with a zip. That Mattel have retired their older sets. The only ones available online are some of the bigger ones, and then two of the new ones. They had a yellow one and like a bluish one, which look really cool. Love the hubcaps on the blue one. They have some of the bigger ones there as well, which I know have been really popular at Smith's. They've kept them on for a year. But the green one I did want to pick up is no longer available at Smith's. Also, there's now the DeLorean, which I think I'd prefer over the green Mattel Chevrolet. I can't even remember what car it was. Oh no, the Lego Speed Champions green Dodge Challenger. I kind of do still want to build that, but then I also want the Batman Batmobile, which is also based off the Challenger. And for those of you that are fairly new, so is Hans Speeder from Solo, based off the Challenger. That was a really fun set to build, a minifig Scarlet. I just can't get into Speed Champions. I'm not a car guy, but it's not just Star Wars, Marvel, and, you know, Speed Champions. We've got Harry Potter. They've got a few good sets, like the Cornish Pixie. I think we were almost picking this one up alongside Spider-Man if money wasn't an issue, which, let's face it, I'm sat here talking about Lego. Money's not really an issue compared to what some people are going through out there. The Cornish Pixie would be in our basket. The Spider-Man set would be in our basket. And you know what? The Salvage as well. Let's face it, the minifigure lineup in that is one of the best of UCS sets ever. And I would throw the Death Star in that mix. There's a lot of repeat minifigures and common figures where it was just the first big Star Wars scene. I think the Salvage beats the Death Star. Oh no, I'm keeping out of the comments. I'm not getting involved in that. Another set that my fiance likes, actually the theme, is the botanicals. The flowering cactus. We already looked at the happy plants that I got her for Christmas. There's a new one on the way this year. And I'm even liking a lot of the botanical sets. They're at decent prices. Some of them will be better to wait for sales. But even the smaller plants, you've got the daisies, which we took a look at, $12.99. I know they're going to be on like a 2 for 20, maybe 2 for 15 if we're lucky at Argos in the UK. I'm keeping my eye on that this year. There's some really good 10, 20 pound sets that I think could be in the lineup, because recently we've just seen the pigeon, the Creator Pigeon, 2 for 20 pounds. I think it's been swapped to 2 for 30 now, but it was 2 for 20 pounds, and that set retails for 20 pounds. So you're getting buy one, get one free deals on Lego in 2025. Absolute insanity. The Creator sets have the hamster for £9. They've got a load around that £20 to £30 price range. You've got the gaming controller, you've got the dinosaurs, you've got, alongside the playful cat from last year, you've got a playful puppy, and they all look good. I would just buy 3 of every one and have an entire room dedicated to Creator 3-in-1. So when we eventually get a house, we'll have to look for an extra room just for Lego Creator sets. Oh, maybe icons as well, because they do have that autumn, not village, it's like an autumn house, an autumn hut, the one with the little gnome on it. I really like that. And I really like some of the mocks that people are using those sort of sets to make battlegrounds for like Star Wars and Marvel. It's awesome. I think that's my weakness with Lego. It's those cheaper sets, those £9, even up to £18. £18 is 2 £9. That's the way I see it. If you can pick up a £9 set, an £18 set isn't too different, just because of how many £9 sets I'd pick up. If I'm picking up 5, well, that's only like an £18 set and like a £25 set. But then that's only like a £50, and it just keeps going from there. If you can pick up a £50 set, you can pick up a UCS Death Star. Where do we draw the line? Speaking of drawing the line, we had a look in my local Smith's for CMFs, and they did have 2 series. But one was the race cars, one was Spider-Man, and they didn't have any of the new CMFs. I always get a CMF with my Lego order, and I haven't even placed a Lego order through Lego this year. I have spent £100 on Lego, but it wasn't through Lego.com, and I've spent a lot more than that actually, if you add them all up. But we're not going to be doing that. Let's not talk about money here. No CMFs meant we had to look at the next best thing, and I'm getting really into Bitty Pops. They're cheaper than Funkos, or they're priced about what you can get like a decent Funko on sale from, you know, a couple months ago. They'll have a Funko that's reduced a little bit. So they're kind of expensive, but they're so easy to display. And I've been collecting a few of them. You've already probably seen at some point on the channel, I would have shown off the Millennium Falcon with Han Solo. But for Christmas, my partner got me Luke's Land Speeder, and I know there's a lot of humor, a lot of jokes going around about Luke's Land Speeder just being everywhere. Not just Lego anymore. Lego have taken their foot off the gas, and everyone else has done Luke's Land Speeder. I think we even have a big Funko Luke's Land Speeder from years back, and I don't have that one, but the Bitty Pop one is adorable, and it's my first Bitty Pop Luke, I had Han, Chewie, Leia, R2, 3PO, even Greedo before Luke Skywalker. So I'm so happy with this. And it's just on display up above the monitor. You never see it on the video, but it's always there. I'm always looking at it, and it goes really nicely with a minifigure display. These Bitty Pops are probably half the height of a Lego minifigure. I just think it's something about small micro characters that just really interests me a lot more than like the Black Series. If it wasn't for the recent V19, I'd have picked up the Asajj and Kenobi Funkos as well. They had a few really good ones from K-pop, from Sonic, from Stranger Things, basically any IP you can think of that's popular right now. They have Funkos on them. And they even have Funkos that didn't make it to the screen, like the deleted scene Star Wars line, which comes with the Sand Trooper, Biggs Darklighter, Luke in his bucket hat. I'm still waiting on Lego to make a bucket hat for Lego minifigures. I think that looks super cute. And there's a fourth one that I've Jabba the Hutt. Jabba the Hutt is the fourth Funko. I remembered it. So we went on a little hunt for the CMFs. We looked in Smith's, didn't have any. Asda didn't have any. Sainsbury's didn't have any. Morrison's didn't have any. And we finally got to an Argos, just the one in stock. I tried adding 2, and they were getting another shipment. So they've already had like 2 shipments, and they're getting a 3rd shipment of these, only 1 box at a time, which I think is quite handy. It rolls out people not being able to like pick up an entire 3 boxes just to resell, because these are animal CMFs. They're animal costumes. They're going to be very popular. People can just pick up a box of these, and you're at least going to make like 150 per fig. But please don't try doing it. It's a lot of effort you got to go through, and you're going to be spending more in hours than you're going to be earning anyway. But that is today's trip to the Lego / Smith store, because I don't live anywhere near an actual Lego store. There are plenty more orders coming throughout January, but until then, thank you so much for watching, and may the bricks be with you always.